Coming up on this episode of the Village Idiom.
I didn't know this. When it comes out of the ice cream makery type thing, it comes out soft servy.
Okay.
And it's a...
Until you freeze it more.
Yeah, and so you get it in and it's done, turn, and then you do the hard freeze.
So when they advertise soft serve, it's just not ready.
Yeah. Here's some undone stuff. Half fixed.
Soft serve. This is dough. Soft serve bread.
This thing's uncooked.
Soft serve.
Soft serve.
Sorry.
My meat is raw.
Soft serve. Dum dum da da. Village Idiom.
Hello and welcome to the Village Idiom.
We are a podcast that every single week chooses a popular saying to take a shallow but hopefully comedic and once in a while even interesting dive into its meaning, its usage, its origins. But we're also going to use it to hang our otherwise directionless conversation on. My name is...
Directionless.
No, my name is Jurassic Mark.
Good to meet you, man.
And your name is?
I'm Skinny.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm feeling fresh and alive, and I got this fantastic new shirt. Check this thing out.
It's a good shirt.
It's got cool sets of double buttons, and then up top a triple.
And then a single.
Yeah.
So 1, 3, 2, 2. These are the numbers from Lost.
4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42.
Yeah, nice shirt.
Yeah.
With the extra little pattern on the inside collar.
Is it every once in a while, though, when you get something new, it makes you feel fresh and alive?
Yeah.
Yeah? That's the end. You just feel alive. It's like a fresh haircut. You know what I'm saying? High five. Boom.
I like a fresh haircut.
Yeah.
So much I do it every couple of days.
Yeah, freshly shorn.
Where do you get your haircut? I get mine down in the shower.
I go... so, my daughter...
She cuts your hair?
Yeah. So she maybe every second time.
Older or younger?
She's younger. Well, she's 14, but I'm indifferent to. She's definitely younger than me.
No, I mean the older or younger daughter.
Oh, I see.
And it was like 14. I got to think about it.
My older daughter, who's older than I am.
Older than
figure
the
that
other
out. Michael J. Fox, Doc Brown. So she's my.
What's this shirt?
So she. So she'll give coupons to what she refers to as Zoe's Tragic Cuts.
So that's the younger daughter.
It's the younger one. And
Tragic cuts instead of magic cuts. That's fantastic.
But I'll pay her, I'll give her $20 for a haircut and a head massage.
Nice.
Because that's worth it. Because if I go to Tommy Guns, I'll pay 40.
Yeah.
And so I don't care if it's definitely at least half as good.
Perfect.
Yeah, I feel like everybody wins. She gets some spending money. And so I lay out on the counter, like in the kitchen, with my head dipped into the sink.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
like you're up on the counter.
I am on the counter, laying across the counter, like
that's awesome.
Like a meal. Oh, I've got pictures.
Tragic Cuts.
Yeah, Zoe's Tragic Cuts. Yeah. So every time it's quickly watch a video and hey, Dad, how do I do this again?
Oh,
which
really?
Just reinforces my confidence in her. But hey, whatever.
You're like this watching YouTube. Now cut.
Yeah, so it's like WikiHow.
WikiHow.
Step-by-step guide.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff on there, actually.
So, but what are you supposed to do in these, these times?
Well,
these times we're in, eh?
These times that we're in, it is smoking hot outside.
It's insane.
So I'm going to play you a little something. All ready for this?
Yep.
Folks, we are certainly in the dog days of summer. It is going to be a hot hottie.
There you go.
Dog.Days.Of.Summer.
Dog.Days.Of.Summer. It was a tricky one to find quotes.
Yeah, it's not a real popular one, but because we are in the dog days of summer right now.
That was from the trailer of the movie called Dog Days of Summer.
Yeah.
So that's where that one is. But we're going to talk about today's idiom is Dog Days of Summer.
It's not well talked about.
No, in fact, it's not used a lot either, but common enough.
It's hotter than
kind of just in passing.
HE double hockey sticks is more
it's just
common.
Well, we're in the dog days of summer right now.
Who says that?
I don't know. Apparently,
unless it's
that
like
news reporter. Maybe a lot of weathermen.
Weather people. Yep. I'm just saying.
People kind.
That it's just not used. Like Les Nessman. WKRP. When have you ever heard somebody use the Dog Days of Summer in actual usage?
But no, I agree with you. But when we suggested doing this one, it's not like you're like, I've never heard of that.
That's interesting because it's also true. But I've heard of a lot of things that seem partially true.
But I've heard a lot of things.
I've heard things.
I've heard things.
I heard things. So
anyway,
the Dog Days of Summer.
It's underused, but we all know what it is. It's the Dog Days of Summer. It's the hot part of summer. So, like, by definition, when you hear the Dog Days of Summer, it's funny. I even have in my notes what you just said, but few know what it actually means. Some say that it signifies hot days not fit for a dog. Others suggest it's the weather in which dogs go crazy. That's actually out there.
If I was covered in fur right now, I could see myself going a little mental. Just as a general rule.
Me too.
Because this is hot right now.
But if you were
This is the hottest day that we've had all year. Like, as we're filming this.
Where we are, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's freakishly hot right now.
And there is no air conditioning. You've got sweat on your brow.
The new studio
wearing
is
a long sleeve
shirt.
A
little warmer.
We probably should have done this one shirtless.
Yeah, that's going to go over well.
But we wouldn't have had this intro. If you were covered in fur,
then it would have been fine.
Yeah, and you know how much more popular we'd be if you were covered in fur?
People would definitely go to the podcast version if I was all furry.
YouTube?
If I was all furry.
They'd for sure be watching if you were furry.
It's like just all, because it's so hot, I'd be all matted.
If it was Jurassic Park and Furball. That sounds like
that's not good.
Morning radio shock jock names.
Jurassic Mark and the Furball every morning on your drive to work. Just like a nasty matted back of hair.
It could be well groomed.
Clumps well groomed, like braided.
You remember Bartholomew?
Oh yeah.
On Spaceballs?
He's half dog, half man. He's his own best friend.
There. He was well groomed.
Yeah, sure.
Chewie got matted.
Well, yeah, definitely. But when he was in that mud pit, what do you expect?
Yeah.
You can't have proper hygiene down there.
Down where?
Little well done. Don't know if well, he's in the mud pit.
Oh, the mud pit.
Yeah.
You can't have good hygiene in the mud pit.
So ridiculous.
Dog Days of Summer is what we're talking about today. But
we should probably get into a little.
You know, the hottest day of summer that
today is freakishly
right
hot,
but that I recall growing up is a memory, and it probably wasn't even temperature-wise, like number of degrees. It probably wasn't that hot, but I remember high school, like 20, 30 of us went to the water park, like the water slides, and I had hair then, very, very blonde hair. I used to sunburn right through my hair because it was like, might as well have been invisible. It was so blonde and fine. And but that was.
But you tan like nobody's business.
I do tan well. I don't really burn very often. But that day, I didn't burn the top of my head, just barely. I burned the tops of my ears. Ooh. To the point of blistering.
Oh, that's not a good look.
Tops of my ears just started bubbling by the end of the day.
Oh, that's gross.
And I'm like, so when I hear hottest day of the summer, I always have a flashback to that day when my ears blistered and bubbled and boiled.
When I graduated from high school, a girlfriend and I traveled down to California as just like one of those treat yourselves, etc., etc. And so one of the things while we were down there was
driving a Beetle.
No, we were driving my dad's pickup.
Oh, okay.
To get some parts for a bug I was working on.
I knew there had to be a Beetle in a drive to California.
There was California import parts type thing.
Yeah.
Anyways. And so we're like, it's like beautiful. Let's have a little beach day. And I'm just in general, like I'm like paler than the average Caucasian. I'm like pale, pasty pale. Like I feel it looks a little sickly. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And so
I don't think that. You tan pretty quickly. Of course, you just came back from some time off.
So 3 weeks on the beach does that to a person. And so anyways, it's like, we're going to go down. We're going to enjoy some sun. We're going to get some of that California sun that they talk about. And so we were down, spent like a few hours.
In the mud pit?
In the sun. And my whiteness became redness. I blistered that night.
Yeah.
And it just turned into like a blanket soaking weird situation of like blistering body and barfing because you had sunstroke. And that was an awesome California vacation.
Dog Days of Summer.
That was a dog day. Barfing like a dog. So gross. Yeah. So... That's kind of like it's just so hot that you burn that day.
Yeah.
Like you blister and they pop.
The blistering's the next level. Like it's.
Yeah. Like I'll be shocked if I don't get some sort of melanoma.
I'm afraid for my head because like I'm pretty protective, but I've got no covering up there. And it's just like I'm just pointed at the sun all day long.
Right.
Especially driving a Jeep with
like
no
a sundial. basically, like a human sundial.
I'm a sundial. I'm my father's sundial.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, let's get into a little fun times. We've heard our disgusting personal stories, so.
I said some words. Where'd they go? Where'd they go? No one can know. I turned around and looked behind. Those words came from another mind. Origins.
Well, let's get into origins. Thank you for that little jingle, Rabies? Dobby Rabies. I was going to say rabies. That doesn't sound right.
No.
Dog rabies? Doggy rabies? All right, this phrase actually is, it's actually a reference to the fact that during this time, during the dog days of summer, the sun occupies the same region of the sky as Sirius. I'm Sirius, which is the brightest star visible from any part of Earth and a part of the constellation known as Canis Major, which means the greater dog.
Caninus?
Canis Major. I looked up the pronunciation, so I didn't screw this up. Caninus?
I don't know.
Canis Major. This is why Sirius is sometimes called the Dog Star.
The Dog Star.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, is the name of Keanu Reeves' band.
The Dog Star?
Dog Star.
Or Sirius?
Dog Star.
Like Sirius.
Dog Star often plays on Sirius.
But you would never spend $10 a month on Dog Star FM.
No, but I wouldn't pay $10 a month. Well, I might pay. Do you have Sirius?
I don't have Sirius, but I do pay for YouTube Music.
Yeah, I do that.
Family plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can find Dog Star on there.
Sure.
Anyway, it's
just
often
look up at the night sky. Speaking of the night sky, are you following this thing with the Neowise? Neowise. This comet that is soaring through our particular region.
So Keanu Reeves, Dog Star, Neowise.
Neowise. The Neowise comet, visible in the early mornings. I just think it's out of range in our area now, but it's been visible all month.
No, I had no idea.
And it's you can see the tail of the comet. It's like however many 100 million miles away, or one of these.
Like with the naked eye, you can see the tail?
With binoculars, you can see the tail.
Okay.
Yeah, you see fuzz with the naked eye. But anyways, a full-out comet floating through our area right now, which is crazy.
I remember Halley's.
They said it'll be visible again with all of their little kung fu projections in 1,000 years. However, they figure that out. So
sorry, I missed it this time.
Well,
maybe next time.
You just have to look at the newspaper.
So Sirius is sometimes called the Dog Star, and the hottest part of the summer is when Sirius is visible in the same region of the sky as our sun. So in the summer, Sirius rises and sets with the sun. And on July 23rd, which is in 2 days, timing is everything with our... Actually, when you're listening to this, right?
Crazy.
Nope.
It's
a week later.
Whatever.
Maybe it's right now.
Who knows?
Anyway, on July 23rd, specifically, it is in conjunction with the sun. It is lined up, and because the star is so bright, back in the day, the ancient Romans believed that it actually gave off heat and added to the sun's warmth, which is why the days were longer, why the weather was hotter, and so they referred to this time as...
The Dog Days of Summer?
Dies Canicularis, or Dog Days, yeah.
Which reminds me, I should probably just take this quick moment to thank our sponsors, HelloFresh. If you're looking for a nice summery meal, something perhaps with a little bit of alfalfa.
Well, it's this way to deliciousness.
Fantastic. Dinner is solved with just a quick buzz through to HelloFresh.
HelloFresh.
So, do you love the cilantro?
I do. I'm a super taster.
You know, so there's some people that get the soap taste, and then you're a super taster. So
I'm not a super taster. I wonder if I am. I've never done the test because cilantro is one of those things where. But I love cilantro.
That's good, because if you like that, check out HelloFresh's menu with the cilantro surprise.
I will. The cilantro surprise.
Yep. Don't quote me on that one.
That sounds like a meal. What's in it? Cilantro. With a side of
or
cilantro.
Soap. Depending on your taste.
All right, so the term Dog Days of Summer came to mean the 20 days before and the 20 days after this alignment of Sirius with the sun. So July 3rd to August 11th. Every year, those are officially the Dog Days of Summer.
That is my birthday, marks the beginning. July 3
right.
is my birthday.
And August 11th is
the day I die.
Oh, there's a tiny bit of me, not this year, but hopes you die on August 11th. So
because of this, I wouldn't be sad to die on August 11th. Not this year.
Not this year.
2020 has been sucky enough without dying on 20.
When you die in 50 years.
50 years from now, I hope it's August.
Yeah, me too.
11th. That'd be wicked.
Yeah,
I hope you're around to see it.
I'll reference it at your funeral.
Thanks,
if I'm allowed to have the microphone at all.
Yeah,
in my elderly, senile, dimension-based.
I had a friend.
Hello! Origins. Anyway.
Weak.
Okay, so of course, some places have a different kind of dog day to contend with because Sirius's rise in the sky of the southern hemisphere
makes no sense.
Means things are about to get pretty cold.
What?
Which goes to enforce that it's not about
the cold days of winter.
It's not about Canis Major adding to the heat. It's just
Ursula
the
Minor?
timing. The adding to the heat and
Ursula
the
Minor.
actual dog days of summer are literally, as everybody knows, based on the tilt of the Earth.
It's just so hot right now.
Yeah, it's the tilt of the Earth. Nothing to do with the dog star.
I had a fun one. So it was my birthday.
July 3rd?
July 3rd.
That's the beginning of the dog days of summer.
Interesting. Well, I always hope to die now on August 11th. Not
you
this
know
year.
What? When you're ready to go,
I'm just going to do my funeral on August 11th, no matter when I die.
We're going to line it up. We'll make sure it's the 11th.
All right. That's one thing we can plan for.
Yeah. I wasn't involved in your birth. That was a fluke, but I can help with the death.
This is how we cope. So, because it was my birthday, my kids, fantastic gaggle that they are, put together their dollars, etc., and got me an ice cream maker.
Oh, fun.
Yes. So last night was round 1 of strawberry.
Is it electrical or a hand crank kind of deal?
It's electrical. It's not like the Dark Ages.
Sorry. I'm curious. I'm asking. I do a hand crank popcorn maker because I enjoy it. So.
Jiffy Whirl, the Whirly Pop one.
Yeah, the Whirly Pop.
Yeah, the gears keep breaking on those things. That's the irritating.
I've had mine for
I
years.
crank too hard.
Maybe that's it.
I'm a hard cranker. So this ice cream situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get it all in and frozen. So I just had...
My mouth is watering.
I had a scoop this morning of like just first because I wanted it. I didn't know this. When it comes out of the ice cream makery type thing, it comes out soft servy.
Okay.
And it's like until
you freeze it more.
Yeah, and so you get it in and it's done, churn, and then you do the the hard freeze.
So when they advertise soft serve, it's just not ready.
Yeah. Here's some undone stuff, half fixed.
Soft serve. This is dough. Soft serve bread.
This thing's uncooked.
Soft serve.
Soft serve.
Sorry.
My meat is raw.
Soft serve. So, first scoop of the day.
And so I'll go through with, and it was like when the directions said, and you're like, I'm not sure what the math is here, that the freezing process, and when you eat it as frozen, because as I'm eating, like as in its raw form, it's dough. Yeah. Liquids, and it's kind of freezing the thing. Like, take a little scoop. I'm like, just like frothy. Like, this is like sickeningly sweet.
Okay.
Like, this is so sweet. I'm like, this is nasty.
You're
like
scraping sugar off the sides.
Did I read it wrong?
Right.
The level of sweet. But then this morning they said as it freezes and whatnot, or you will notice less, that the sweetness will dissipate. And sure enough, it was true. It wasn't as sweet this morning.
The next day,
as it was frozen.
Well, that makes sense because like glaciers have been around for millions of years, thousands of years, and there's no sweetness to that at all.
So seriously, it's like,
so it makes sense.
Have you licked a glacier? Nothing. Nothing. Not a.
Your tongue is stuck to it.
Yeah, but it's not sweet.
But there's no sweetness.
Stupid. So, anyways, that's a little the dog days of summer making ice cream, and so we've been while it
that's a great gift.
Yeah, so while it was in its arrival state. I was like, we got. So when we're on holidays, I think we ate ice cream every day, just trying different stuff.
You brought it. You brought the machine.
No, like we went out for ice cream every day because we were camping. So
That's what I thought. I'm like,
but no. So now it was like,
wish you had the hand crank one, didn't you?
keeping your eyes on the flavors, just so.
I remember. I don't know if it was school or Sunday school, but I remember making ice cream in like a little Ziploc with a little mixture of things. So excited. We're going to make ice cream, boys and girls.
I did that
and
in
then
3
it's like
minutes.
a teaspoon. Here you go.
Just lick.
Oh,
Let me dab your tongue with it.
Soft serve.
Yeah, so on that one, it was like the ingredients in an inner Ziploc, and then the outer Ziploc do the ice and salt. And then as you shake it all up, the inside one becomes frozen, soft servey.
Wow.
Yeah. It's on a video I made. Surprised you haven't seen it.
I think I have. I might be in it. I don't know.
That's entirely possible, actually. Yeah, so anyways, ice cream maker.
So on the
I have a second California story for you
Dog
as well.
Days of Summer and efforts to cool down and kids giving us gifts, just yesterday, my son Beetlebat gave me a gift, which he told me weeks ago. He goes, I got a gift coming for you. It's coming from Amazon or whatever. And I'm like, okay, great. He goes, yeah, do we have a box fan? No. Your gift is going to suck then. So I went and bought a box fan like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where's my gift? I bought a fan. I didn't tell you I had to buy one. So anyway, it came yesterday. And it's a picture an igloo.
Got it.
Made of tent fabric.
Got it.
With no floor.
Okay.
And you attach the opening of the igloo to a box fan, and it just
Is it the equivalent of like an inflated toy minus the bottom?
Yeah, no bottom. So it hovers.
Interesting.
All the air escapes from the 1 inch or half an inch around the perimeter, and you're just in there in this cool breeze.
That's
like
awesome.
A cooled down sweat lodge, which
Like
is
the
probably culturally inappropriate. I'm not sure
It's
anymore.
a chill lodge.
It's a chill lodge.
Yeah.
And it's a cool gift. Like you're just sitting there going,
That's really fun.
this is the best.
I love that
I'm
kid.
alone with a fan and a floating igloo.
It's also white noise.
It's called float fort. I can't remember.
Like the white noise of the fan going and
Yeah.
that you've got a private space now.
Yeah.
It's like a perfect deprivation chamber.
Totally.
Fun.
He said he wished that he could have got a white one so they could project movies onto it and just sit in there
from
and
the
watch a movie.
outside.
But he didn't have that option. He chose a black and white version of like that pixelated camo.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so you can only watch black and white movies.
Well, at least some of them, depending on how they project it.
Okay, so we're not done yet. The phrase dog days also doesn't occur in a number of cultures at all. Like, obviously, it's an English saying, came from the Romans, but in a lot of... so, for example, it wasn't until the introduction of German almanacs to Scandinavia in the 16th century that the phrase even entered the cultural traditions there at all. And in locations where Sirius is not called the dog star, that makes no sense. To call it the Dog Days of Summer. So while the Greeks dubbed Sirius the dog star, other cultures had different names for it altogether. So the ancient Babylonians called it Kaksidi or Kaksisi, which means arrow. Ancient Chinese and Egyptians also called the star some form of arrow, which makes it start to seem like we're the wrong ones because everyone else is calling it an arrow. And the Egyptians would later refer to it as the soul of Isis or the sister and wife. Sister and wife. I didn't notice that in my first read through.
Mm-hmm.
The sister and wife of Osiris.
Is it Egyptians or like Chilowakians? Or the Albertans?
The Egyptians.
Oh, I see.
I got it.
My sister wife.
The arrival of Sirius in that culture also marked the annual flooding of the Nile River. So the Greeks, they countering the Greek and Roman belief that the rising sun marks a period of lack of water. The Egyptian version, it was a flooding of the Nile. So that star meant the complete opposite. It was like an abundance of water.
Maybe they were just like projecting the opposite of what the Romans, like more denial than Nile.
Exactly. So anyway, other cultures from Hindu to Persian to whatever all has to do with temperature or water or lack thereof and a variety of things. But almost every culture noticed Sirius, whether they had a different name for it or
it's because it's so hot right now.
Yeah. So here's something interesting. So the phrase is Dog Days of Summer. It has an actual calendar marked dates, July 3rd to your death, to August 11th. But how about this? I wonder, I don't know that it comes from Dog Days of Summer, but how about during that time you get dog tired? You get sick as a dog. You dog it at work. You go to the dogs. You live a dog's life when you're miserable.
Dog's breakfast.
Dog's breakfast. during the dog days of summer.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think
See?
an interesting one, maybe on the Egyptian and the Nile, is the use of water to cool yourself when it's so freakishly hot. Like right now, the whole sprinkler situation. Had a story when a group of friends, we were on a benevolent trip to the Philippines when Mount Pinatubo exploded. And
You were there?
No, we went afterwards to do
see.
humanitarian stuff.
Got it.
And it was freakishly hot. It was summer. You literally like wipe yourself off and then watch yourself sweat.
Right.
It was you watched yourself sweat. I've never
Drink a lot of water.
Yeah, it was crazy. And so or bathe. And so you pump water into the thing and have this little shower system, and awesome. One of our friends is hot. No, he wasn't hot, but it was. but his body was warm.
Is it somebody I know?
Maybe they may actually be a listener, so they'll know to correct the story. Yeah. And so this one particular stall, because it was all like cement block, Philippine jungle-y situation, had like all like holes in it, like a series of like small holes, like what's in there, scary. And so as he got in, he jumped in, he's like, whew, he's like cooling himself down, the water coming all over him, soaps up, and just starts like, in washing his face, and then he's like, and there was ants, these fire ants
Coming out of the holes?
that started coming out of the holes of the shower stall.
What?
And so he's like,
And he can't see.
and he can't see. And so he's like, it's on me. And there was a fire ant that got right on the end of his man parts and was like, and so he was crying because this fire ant was had crawled up him and chewing on the goods.
Oh my goodness.
And he's all, trying to get out, soapy-eyed. And so that was the trying to get cool in the Philippines story.
Soft serve.
Hopefully not. It was, it just cracks me up.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awful. I don't like this story.
Yeah.
You could just
Fire. And there were the cockroaches and all the rest of that. But
man.
anyway.
wow. Brutal.
Yeah, but you just got to do, like, if it was crazy insane summer and we had like a pond.
Right.
And you're like, man, there's leeches in that pond.
Worth it.
Is it? Yeah, where you're like, if I just get out there fast enough and they can't get me at the shore,
Right.
and they get in fast enough and just pick them off as they come. But
You ever had a leech on you?
yeah, but just little.
Yeah. I've been in lakes where it's like one person after the other gets out with a leech or two and they just pick them off, and I was terrified but never got one. Like in and out of the water all the time. You could see them crawling on the shallow part of the lake.
Yeah, you just got to go in deeper because they're like edge type.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
They see people come out and they're like,
No.
leeches all over them.
No good.
I'm like, yeah. It's
The lachrymose
pretty
leeches.
grubby.
Yeah.
There you go.
Man, we're heading into the home stretch here. That flew by.
Yeah, we are. We have a game to play though. Riddlink is a game we like to play that is a two-part trivia-based question that requires a two-part but overlapping answer, overlapping by sound or syllable or word or words. If that's possible. And so we're going to play that now. It's how we wrap up every show. We want you to play along at home, and we'll leave one just for you so that you can communicate with us, and we'll give you some information on how to do that in just a little bit. So I've got a couple. You've got a couple. Why don't you go first?
Okay. That celestial time from July 3 to August 11 has to get educated again.
Educated again. Oh, Dog.Days.Of.Summer school.
Yes. Good for you.
Skinny's lifespan anniversary.
Lifespan anniversary. That's a great one. Lifespan anniversary. I like it.
All right, I got one for you. What do you get when you cross the constellation that means greater dog with Mash's hot lips?
I know exactly.
Remember the Latin?
Well, she was Loretta Swit. Loretta Swit. Serious. Hot Lips Houlihan. Loretta Swit. Tell me again.
What do you get when you cross... Whoops, I lost my place here. What do you get when you cross the constellation that means greater dog? So do you remember that constellation name?
Yeah, it sounded like something like Caninus or something.
Canis, not minor.
Canis Major Hot Lips Houlihan.
Major Houlihan, yeah.
Okay.
Hot Lips was in the clue. Canis Major Houlihan.
Nice. Loretta Swit.
Yeah, I wouldn't have. I would have to look up her name. I'm impressed by
man.
that. I'm like wanting to cut you off, but I was so impressed you had the actress's name. I just watched MASH the movie the other day.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen it, but
It was okay.
there's a whole lot of nothing going on in that movie. Like you're like
It rode the
it's
name.
not really about anything.
No, it rode the name. It's a perfect show for a
it's
series.
pre the TV.
Is it really?
Yeah, it was first. All different actors except for Radar. Yeah,
Radar O'Reilly.
Radar O'Reilly.
Well, let me get you on
Donald
here.
Sutherland is Hawkeye.
Really?
Isn't that funny?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, Alan Alda, all the way.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Okay, give it to me.
Cook steaks on low heat, then finish in a hot pan on a dog star.
So soft serve.
Cook steaks on low heat, then finish in a hot pan
Sear. Oh, serious. Sear.
on a dog star.
Something serious.
Yeah.
Something sear.
Yeah.
I don't know what's before sear.
It's not forward.
Backward sear?
Really? You know this.
I don't know.
Well,
I know what searing means, like how to sear meat. But
yeah,
what-
it's a method of doing, so you do the cook on low and then finish it, like flash finish it to get a crust on it. It's called a reverse sear.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
reverse serious.
Yeah, I was like, you know this one. Yeah, the reverse sear cook meat. Yeah.
No, I rarely have to do that because HelloFresh.
Oh,
dinner
yeah,
solved.
good point. Dinner is solved.
Actually, you're still cooking.
You're still
with
cooking.
HelloFresh. All right, I got one more, but this is for all our legitimate listeners.
Man,
Why
this is
don't
a
you
toughie.
tell everybody how they can get a hold of us?
Absolutely. You can reach out to us, all of our Village-Idiom children, on Instagram at the.village.idiom, or email us at thevillageidiompodcast@gmail.com, or whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter at 3 Minutes Gone.
Now, I'll be honest, I meant to give this one to you and do the other one for our listeners. It's pretty specific, this one. Here it is. Tokyo tube meat. Wait, let me start over. Tokyo tube meat vendor based in Vancouver is the hottest part of the year.
Oh, that's fantastic. I know exactly what the answer to that one is.
Did you know it's based in Vancouver only? That's like
No,
a
I
Vancouver thing.
had assumed it was.
There's a new Netflix or something series with who's from Portlandia, Fred Armisen.
Fred Armistead, yeah.
Where it's like an afterlife series.
Okay.
And in there, one guy references Vancouver and this answer.
Oh, that's
I'm like,
funny.
I didn't know it was just a Vancouver thing. Anyway,
Well, that's been good.
Tokyo tube meat vendor based in Vancouver.
Tokyo
is the hottest
tube meat.
part of the year.
Well, it's been fun putting today's episode together. We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. I'm Skinny.
I am Jurassic K98 degrees Mark.
And these are the Village Idioms.
Dog.Days.Of.Summer, the dog days.
That's 3 minutes gone.